Hello everyone, in this video I will show you the entire inventory tab, how it works, what information you can put in there, and the nice setup instruction feature and the tool tracking. So the first couple of things are parts, fixtures, raw materials, inspection tools, which are essentially just simple lists. You can put your customer part list that you have in stock, and you can also switch between fixtures and customer parts. So you can just add by clicking on the plus sign, filling out the information, and adding add part. Now, same goes with the raw materials, inspection tools, and everything. With the raw materials, you can view full-size materials or for tooling only materials. So you can track your stock. Now, inspection tools, same. You can add an inspection tool, and once your tool gets extensive, for example, we've been putting in some equipment that we have, every single pin, to keep track of what we have and how much of them we have. So for example, I'm going to say that 109, I can put 0.9, and okay, so I do have that. Should be somewhere in my stock. Now I'm going to say that I need an indicator. And I have a couple of indicators. We'll also make this available as a tool list for calibrations that will be coming in the upcoming updates. Now, a couple of nice, very useful features, in my opinion, is the CNC tooling reorder, and the setup instructions. So I will start with the CNC tooling as that's where everything begins. So in the CNC tooling, when you go here, you have all of your categories: square end mills, radius end mills, bullnose, etc. This will become a list that you can add to with categories, since there's a couple of them missing. So that will be also coming in a couple of updates. Now, for your end mills, you can go into your square end mills, for example. I do have a extensive list of end mills and how they are stored. Now, the way this system works, you press Add End Mill, you select what category it is, and then you put the location. Location you have to specify as drawer, bin, and sub bin. I know some people might not be doing it this way, but unfortunately, this is how it is programmed. And so you would say, for example, for us, it's A, bin 1, sub bin 2, for example. And then you would put your size, radius, length of cut, overall length of tool, quantity, flutes, description. And since it's a square end mill where the radius is, I would just say NA, not applicable, and that's it. Now, since I already have a lot of different tools, I will just show you how it all works. For example, I'm looking for a 1/2 inch end mill. I can say size, 1/2 inch, radius, well, it's NA, since it's not a radius tab, and length of cut, 1 inch. Then I click search, and I will only have I will only be shown the ones that I'm looking for. So for example, I'm looking for 1/2 inch, but this one is 8 flutes. This one is 4 flutes. This one has a different overall length than this one, even though it has the same flute length, the same length of cut. And this one is a 3 fluter, and its description says alloy power, so I know I'm going to be using it for aluminum. This one has chip brake slots. This is a rougher. So this is the way these end mills work, or whether it's a chamfer mill or whatever it might be. You're able to see all of your inventory. Now, nice feature about this is that once you put all of your inventory in and you come to take one out, and let's say I'm taking out one of the olive powers. So I come here, I click the down button, and I say that I'm removing a tool. And then I specify the job number I'm removing it for. So I'm removing it for 1506. And the tool quantity was changed, and it was logged that, that I took this tool for that job. That will reflect in the jobs control tab right here and the finances. So as you can see, it says that on 7/17, I removed a 1/2 inch radius, not applicable, fluids 3 length of cut 1, and this amounts to $0. So this will become modifiable pretty soon, where you can actually specify the amount, how much that tool costed, and the inventory will have their own price list. So you won't have to. So for example, if you know that your tools cost $50, you can just specify it in the inventory tab and not have to change this every single time. And this will also come back and be reflected in your finances, which will calculate your entire profit for the job. Now, when we go back to inventory, CNC tooling, and we go to square end mills, say we're going to go back to the 1/2 inch. The same olive power. So it already has a reorder interest 1, but this one, 8 fluids, has a reorder interest 0. So what that means is, if it says reorder interest 0, nothing will be happening if the quantity in stock drops below 3. But if it has a 1, after the quantity in stock drops below 3, that tool will be added to the tooling reorder list. And you can modify that by clicking on it and setting 0 or setting a 1. So this you have to update the page in order for that to reflect the change. So I'm going to go here, and as you can see, this is 0. So now I'm going to put this back to 1, and I will show you what the reorder button does. Now, you can always press the reorder button individually. So if you're looking for an end mill, you're like, okay, I need to order this end mill. You just press reorder, and it will go send an email to whoever you specify in the settings. Will open your default email application if you are using a Windows application for email. If you are using the application for something else, I'm sorry, if you're using like a web browser for email, this will not work. It goes ahead and puts the entire text that you would like to reorder your end mill, and gives you all the details, and you have to specify the quantity you would like to reorder and just send the email. Now, the tooling reorder works a little bit different. So once the quantity goes below 0, below 3, it will add to this list, and you can simply come into this list and say, okay, so for example, I'm going to say no, and this reorder, yes, no, is purely for you to track whether you already submitted an order for this end mill or not. So you're going to say, for example, I want this end mill, I want 5 of these, I want 3 of these, and I want 1 of this one. And so I'm going to say reorder selected. So the reorder selected will only input the ones where you put a quantity in. So if you left it at 0, it's going to stay at 0. It's not going to add, I'm sorry. So you press reorder selected, and it generates an email with every single end mill that you've selected and the quantity that you've specified in that tab. So that's one way to reorder your tools. Now, another nice feature is the setup instructions. So in the setup instructions, when you're working on a part, you can, for example, enter a part number. Say the part number is ABC 123, and then just click anywhere, and it will open up it will create operation 10 and a setup ID. I am working on a better way of doing this, but for now, it works this way, and you have to remember your setup ID in order to add the CNC tools. So you remember your setup ID, that's 1013, and you click search. This will open up your programs, special instructions, tool list, and setup pictures. So the tool list that's already here is because I already had that part number created before, and I already added a couple of tools here. So in order for you to add another operation, you would say ABC123. Click anywhere and then just add a new operation and enter the, let's say, operation 20. Say add operation, and it's been added successfully. Now you can select that one, and it's going to have a completely different setup ID. So let's choose this. Search, and again, you're able to upload your programs or operation sheets, specify any instructions, add your tool list, and add your setup pictures. So for example, for me, when I'm working on programming a part, this comes very handy, as I can just go into my tool list and remember that it's 1024 for now. And when I'm programming, I know that I'm going to need a radius end mill. It's going to have to be a 1/2 inch with a 30 radius and a 1 1/4 length of cut. I'm going to select that and see if I have one. Okay, I have a 1/2 inch, 30 radius, 6 flutes. All right, so let's say this end mill works for me, and I know that I have it in stock. So now I can just click plus and say setup ID 1024. Okay. And that tool was added there. So now I remember that I am using this. And when I go to set up my machine, I can pull up that part number, and I will be able to see which tools I've added for myself and which tools I've programmed, so that I don't have to go back and see, okay, so which tools did I program? And do I even have them? One of the issues that I had. Now, once I added that tool, I can go back and add as many tools as I want to. I can say that I want a dovetail cutter. My diameter of the dovetail cutter is going to be 1 inch, 20 radius, for example, and a 375. So I know that I have these because those three populated came up. So I know that I have something like that. So, all right, it's a Whitney tool 373, and I have 14 of these. So I can just add this one also, 1024. Okay. Then I'm going to put a nice little break edge. So I'm going to go into my chamfer, size, quarter, radius would be the degrees, 90 degrees, and my length of cut, which is just fine. So I have a couple of these. Actually, I don't have any, but anyways, I can also always press reorder button and have them. Now 1024, and now I have it there. Now I can go into my setup instructions, ABC123, operation 20, search, and I have my tool list here. And also I can subtract this tool. So I have a computer in my tool room, and when I go there and I set up any part number, I enter the part number here, and then I go through my tool list. I'm like, okay, so I have this tool, and this tool, and I just go ahead and click subtract the tool, remove it, this job number, and the quantity was changed, so that I don't have to go back to the CNC tooling, look for that one, and then, you know, subtract it there and then come back to the setup instructions. So I just have everything here, and I can also remove the tools. So in your once you add your program or operation sheet into here, you're able to download it, and special instructions, you can specify your XYZ 0 location, center. You can always, once I've done my setup once, I can always upload some nice pictures and have it for next time. Now I can also generate a setup sheet, which will populate this file and tell me all of the tools that I'm using. Also, there's if you upload a .set file if you upload a .set file to your program operation sheets, the program will automatically read that file and type it up right here. So, for example, my software, programming software that I use, outputs a NC program and a .set file with all the tools that I've used. So, so not only do I have this tool list, but I will also automatically have a tool list here. And you can always tell me what other extensions I should add here, and the setup extensions if other softwares do the same. So that's a nice feature in my opinion, and helps a ton with tracking your setups and having a pretty good idea of what you're doing and what tools you have and which tools you don't have. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a great one.